Every day, you make small choices. Drink a glass of water or not. Read 10 pages or scroll on your phone. Sleep early or stay awake. These choices look small, almost invisible. But day after day, they build your future. A small habit can be your secret weapon. It can change your health, your work, your mind, even your destiny. This is the power of small habits. This is the story of how the tiniest steps create the biggest change. Chapter 1. The Invisible Power. Listen closely. Your life today is not only built by your dreams. It is not only shaped by your goals. It is built brick by brick by the habits you repeat. When you wake up, do you check your phone? When you feel tired, do you drink water or coffee or nothing? When the day is heavy, do you walk or do you sit still? These small choices may look like dust, tiny, weak, forgettable, but they are not. A habit is like a drop of water. One drop seems nothing, but when drops fall again and again, they cut stone. They change rivers. They shape mountains. Think of your own day. Imagine you brush your teeth twice every day. Simple, easy, no big effort. But what happens after 1 year? Your teeth are clean. Your health is better. Your smile is strong. Now imagine you never brush. One day, maybe nothing. But 1 year later, pain, problems, visits to the dentist. This is the invisible power of habits. They grow in silence. They do not ask your permission. They simply build your future. Let me tell you a story. A man in Japan decided to improve his cycling team. The team was weak. No medals, no fame. The coach said, "We will not change everything. We will change 1%. So they cleaned the bikes perfectly. They changed pillows for better sleep. They washed hands in special ways to avoid sickness. Small changes, tiny habits. And after years of 1% improvements, the team became champions. They won the Tour de France. They became the best in the world. All from small habits. Do you see? Big change is not born in 1 day. It is born in small actions, repeated every day. But here is the danger. Habits do not care if they are good or bad. They grow in silence anyway. Eat sugar every night. Skip sleep again and again. Say, "I will start tomorrow." Slowly, quietly, these small steps build a different future. They build sickness. They build regret. That is why habits are powerful. Invisible, yes, but never neutral. They are always working, either for you or against you. So, what is the secret? The secret is awareness. To stop, and to look at your daily life, to ask, what small things do I repeat? Because your answers are your destiny. Imagine two friends. One reads 10 minutes every night. The other watches 10 minutes of gossip on his phone. After one night, the difference is 0. After 1 week, still nothing big. But after 1 year? The first friend finishes 6 books, learns new ideas, feels confident. The second friend remembers stories that do not matter, forgets them, learns nothing. After 5 years, the first friend may change jobs, write a book, lead people. The second is still stuck. This is the invisible power. This is how the small becomes the great. Think again about your own day, your morning, your night. What do you repeat without thinking? Is it helping you, or is it hurting you? Habits are like seeds. You plant them without notice. But one day, they become trees. Some trees give sweet fruit. Others give poison. But both trees grow. Both trees are strong. The only difference is the seed you choose. So the question is simple. Which seeds are you planting now? Which trees will you meet in 5 years? Because your future is not waiting in some faraway land. It is growing silently in the small things you do today. That is why we must respect habits. They look small, but they are never weak. They are the invisible power that writes the story of your life. Chapter 2. 1% better. What if I told you, you do not need a big leap? You do not need to change your life in one night. You only need 1%. 1% sounds like nothing. It is a coin. It is a step. It is almost invisible. But when you repeat 1% every day, it becomes unstoppable. Let's do the math. Imagine you improve by 1% each day. After 1 day, nothing special. After 1 week, still small. But after 1 year, 365 days, your life is 37 times better. Not double, not triple. 37 times better. This is the magic of small, repeated growth. Think of an airplane. If the pilot changes the direction by 1 degree, what happens? At the start, nothing. The plane looks the same. But after 1 hour, it is flying to a different city. After 5 hours, it is in a different country. 1 degree made the difference. 1% changed the destination. Now, look at your own life. Read 1 page today. Read another tomorrow. In 1 year, you have finished a library. Walk for 5 minutes today. 5 minutes tomorrow. In 1 year, your heart is stronger, your body lighter, your mind calmer. The truth is simple. Big change hides inside small steps. But here is the trap. People don't believe it. They want fast success. They want magic pills, secret formulas, sudden miracles. And because they want fast, they quit when life is slow. They forget the power of 1%. Let me tell you a story. In Britain, a young student wanted to play the guitar. He was not talented. His fingers were weak. But he decided, I will play for 10 minutes every day. Not 1 hour, not 10 hours, just 10 minutes. For months, he stayed small. But after 1 year, he could play songs. After 2 years, he joined a band. After 5 years, he stood on stage. The crowd cheered. He smiled. All from 1%. 1% is not heavy. It does not ask you to be perfect. It asks only for patience, for trust, for repetition. Now think about bad habits. Eat 1 small cookie today. No problem. Eat 1 more tomorrow. Still nothing. But after 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, the body changes. The energy falls. The doctor gives warnings. 1% worse is also powerful. This is why 1% is not neutral. It is always working, building you up or breaking you down. The choice is yours. Look at bamboo. For years, the seed is under the soil. You water it. You see nothing. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, nothing. But then, suddenly, it shoots up. In 6 weeks, it grows more than 20 meters high. People say, it grew fast. Number, it grew slowly, invisibly, 1% each day, until the day it exploded. Your habits are the same. For months, maybe you see nothing. But deep inside, you are growing. Your mind is stronger. Your body is healing. Your skills are forming. And one day, the world sees the result. They call it sudden success. But you know the truth. It is 1% repeated in silence. So, here is the question. What is your 1% today? Can you write 1 sentence? Can you learn 1 new word? Can you walk 1 extra step? It looks small, but it is the seed of greatness. Do not wait for perfect days. Do not wait for big energy. Start with 1%. Start now, because your future is waiting, and 1 small step is enough to change its direction. Chapter 3. The Cue and the Trigger. Every habit begins with a spark. It does not start in the action. It starts before. With a signal. With a small event that whispers to your brain, do it now. This signal is called the cue. Some people call it the trigger. It is the moment that wakes up your habit. Think about it. You see a cookie. Your mouth waters. Your hand moves before your mind can stop it. Was it hunger? Number. It was the cue, the sight of sugar. You hear your phone buzz. At once, you check it. Not because you needed it, but because the sound pulled you. The cue, the trigger. Cues are everywhere. The smell of coffee, the time on the clock, the place you enter, the people around you. Each one can be a silent hand, pushing you into a habit. But here is the secret. If you control the cue, you control the habit. Let me tell you a story. A man wanted to stop smoking. He tried willpower. Failed. He tried fear. Failed. But then he learned about triggers. Every time he drank coffee, he wanted a cigarette. Every time he walked after lunch, he wanted a cigarette. So what did he do? He changed his cues. He drank tea instead of coffee. He walked a new path after lunch. Slowly, the craving lost its power. The cue was gone. So the habit was gone. Do you see the lesson? Habits are not magic. They are links in a chain. Cue arrow action, arrow reward. If you break the first link, the chain falls. But it works both ways. If you want a good habit, give it a strong cue. Imagine you want to read. Put a book on your pillow every morning. At night, when you see it, the cue is there. You pick it up, you read. Day after day, the habit grows. Or maybe you want to exercise. Lay your shoes near the door. When your eyes see them, your brain remembers. It is time. The cue speaks louder than your laziness. Some people write this as habit stacking. It means you link one habit to another. You use an old action as the cue for a new one. For example, after I brush my teeth, I will floss. After I drink coffee, I will write one sentence. After I close my laptop, I will plan tomorrow. Old habit becomes the trigger. New habit becomes the growth. This is how you build a life with less effort, because you are not fighting your brain. You are guiding it. But beware. Cues are also dangerous. If you keep cookies in your kitchen, the cue is always alive. If you keep your phone beside your bed, the cue for scrolling never sleeps. If you spend time with people who smoke, the cue is in the air. The habit chain pulls you again and again. So the question is simple. What cues live around you now? Do they lead you to good routines, or do they lead you to regret? Think of a farmer. He plants seeds. But seeds need the right soil. If the soil is clean, the seed grows strong. If the soil is dirty, the seed dies. Cues are like soil. They decide which habits survive. There is a famous story about a hospital. Doctors wanted people to drink more water. So they made one small change. They placed bottles of water at eye level in the cafeteria. They moved sodas to the bottom shelves. What happened? In weeks, water sales went up. Soda sales went down. No one forced patience. No one shouted rules. The cue was enough. Your life is like that cafeteria. What do you place at eye level? What do you hide? The answer shapes your future. Remember, you do not need stronger willpower. You need smarter cues. So here is your challenge. Look around your room tonight. What do you see first? Is it your phone? A snack? A screen? Or is it a book? A glass of water? A pair of running shoes? Tomorrow, when you wake up, what will your eyes say to your brain? Because that first whisper may decide the story of your day. Habits do not begin in silence. They begin with a signal. If you master the signal, you master the habit. And if you master the habit, you master your life. Chapter 4. Make it easy. Why do we fail at habits? Is it because we are weak? Because we have no discipline? Number. Most of the time, it is because we make habits too hard. We dream big. We say, I will run 5 kilometers every morning. But the alarm rings, and the bed is warm. We say, I will read for 1 hour every night. But the phone is closer, and the book is far. We say, I will cook healthy meals every day. But the fridge is empty, and takeout is quick. The problem is not our heart. It is the design. We made the habit heavy, difficult, far away. And when life is busy, the heavy habit dies. So here is the secret. Make it easy. If you want a habit to live, reduce the friction, remove the walls, cut the weight. Let me tell you a story. A young woman wanted to play the piano, but she lived in a small apartment. Her keyboard was in the closet. Every time she wanted to play, she had to take it out, find the stand, plug the cables. It felt like work. So she played once a week, then once a month, then never. One day, she changed one thing. She put the keyboard in the living room. Ready, plugged in, visible. Now, every time she walked past, her fingers touched the keys. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. The habit grew simply because it was easy. Do you see? The environment decides the habit. If you want to exercise, do not wait to go to the gym. Start with 1 push-up at home, 1 squat while you wait for the kettle. Easy, light, quick. Once it becomes natural, you can grow. If you want to eat healthy, do not buy junk food. Put fruit on the table. Put water on your desk. Make the good choice easy and the bad choice hard. If you want to read, do not hide books on a shelf. Put one on your pillow. Put another in your bag. Make it so simple that reading is easier than not reading. This is the law of least effort. Your brain, like water, flows where the path is smooth. If the habit is heavy, you will quit. If the habit is light, you will continue. Now, think about the habits you want to build. Ask yourself, how can I cut them into tiny steps? Do not say, I will write a book. Say, I will write one sentence. Do not say, I will meditate for 30 minutes. Say, I will take one deep breath. Do not say, I will run a marathon. Say, I will put on my shoes. When you make it easy, you trick your brain. It does not feel heavy. It feels possible. And once you begin, momentum carries you further. Think of a snowball. At the top of the hill, it is small. You push it gently. It rolls slowly, but with each turn, it grows. It becomes powerful. It rushes down with force. That is how habits work. Start small, start easy, and soon the habit carries itself. But there is another side. Bad habits also follow the law of easy. If your phone is always near, scrolling is easy. If cookies are always in the kitchen, eating them is easy. If the TV is always on, watching is easy. So how do we fight them? We make them hard. Want to watch less TV? Unplug it after use. Hide the remote. Want to eat less sugar? Do not buy it. If it is not at home, it is not in your mouth. Want to use your phone less? Put it in another room. Turn off notifications. Increase the friction. Make the habit heavy. Good habits, make them easy. Bad habits, make them hard. It sounds simple, and it is, but it works. Let me share one last story. A man wanted to get fit. He promised himself, I will go to the gym every day. But he made a strange rule. He could only stay for 5 minutes. 5 minutes, and then leave. People laughed. 5 minutes? That is nothing. But he built the habit. Day after day, his body learned, gym is normal. Soon, 5 minutes became 10. 10 became 30. And in 1 year, his body was transformed. Not because he was strong, but because he was smart. He made it easy. So ask yourself now, what habit do you want most? And how can you make it lighter, smaller, easier? Because if you make it easy, you make it possible. And if you make it possible, one day it will become powerful. Chapter 5. The Reward Loop. Why do habits stay alive? Why do we repeat the same action again and again? The answer is simple. Because of reward. Your brain is an old machine. It is always asking, does this feel good? Does this keep me safe? When the answer is yes, the brain remembers. It builds a pathway. Next time, when the cue arrives, the brain whispers, do it again. This is the reward loop. Cue, action, reward. The circle spins, and with each turn, the habit grows stronger. Think about food. Long ago, sweet fruit meant energy. When our ancestors found it, their brains shouted with joy. Eat more, survive longer. The reward was pleasure. The memory stayed. That is why, even today, sugar feels so powerful. Or think about social media. You post a photo. You get a like. Your brain feels a spark. Dopamine, your body's reward chemical, rushes in. The loop is complete. Next time, you want to post again. The cycle continues. Every habit you have, good or bad, lives inside this loop. Cue, action, reward. But here is the secret. If you want to build a new habit, give yourself a reward. If you want to break a bad habit, cut the reward. Let me tell you a story. A man wanted to start running. At first, he hated it. His legs hurt. His chest burned, so he created a trick. Every time he finished a run, he allowed himself to take a long, hot shower. It was relaxing. It felt good. Soon, his brain connected the run with the reward. Running became easier, even enjoyable. The loop was complete. You can do the same. If you want to read, reward yourself with a cup of tea after. If you want to study, play your favorite song when you finish. If you want to exercise, let yourself watch a show after. Link the habit with something that feels good. Your brain will follow. But what about bad habits? They survive because their rewards are immediate. Smoking gives a rush now. Scrolling gives entertainment now. Junk food gives pleasure now. The cost comes later. Disease, regret, wasted time. But the brain does not wait. It loves now. So how do we fight this? We must make the reward of good habits immediate and make the reward of bad habits invisible. Imagine you want to save money. Saving feels slow. The reward is in the future. So, create a small reward today. Each time you save, mark it on a chart. Watch the marks grow. Feel the progress. Your brain loves visible victory. Or imagine you want to stop eating sweets. Do not only say no. Reward yourself in another way. Drink fruit tea. Eat fresh berries. Smile at your small win. Make the brain feel good, even without sugar. Rewards do not need to be big. They only need to be felt. A check mark on a calendar. A small celebration. A moment of pride. Each one is fuel for the loop. There is another story. A teacher wanted her students to write more, so she gave them stickers for every page. Simple stickers, nothing valuable. But the children loved them. They wrote more. They filled pages, not because of talent, but because of the reward loop. Even adults are the same. We are all children inside, waiting for a star, a smile, a sign of progress. So, here is your task. Ask yourself, what reward keeps my habits alive? Is it real growth? Or is it just fast pleasure? If it is fast pleasure, beware. The loop is pulling you into chains. If it is real growth, celebrate. The loop is pulling you into freedom. Remember, habits are not only about willpower. They are about design. Cue, action, reward. The brain repeats what feels good. So make good habits rewarding. Make bad habits empty. One day, the cycle will work in your favor. The loop will carry you forward. And the actions you once forced will become the rewards you love. Chapter 6. Breaking Chains. Bad habits feel like friends at first. They comfort you. They give quick pleasure. They whisper, "Don't worry." Just one more time, but slowly, silently, they become chains. Heavy, tight, hard to escape. Think about smoking. The first cigarette is curiosity. The second is pleasure. The 10th is habit. The 100th is a chain. Now the person is trapped, not because they are weak, but because the habit has grown stronger than their will. The same is true with endless scrolling, junk food, late nights. One day, it feels like nothing. 5 years later, it feels like prison. So how do we break free? How do we cut the chains? The first step is awareness. You cannot break what you do not see. Many people deny their bad habits. They say, "I can stop any time." But the chain is already locked. The habit controls them. So pause. Look honestly at your own life. Which habits pull you down? Which habits waste your time, your health, your energy? Name them. Because a named chain is easier to cut. The second step is to make the habit invisible. Bad habits live in cues. If the cue is gone, the craving is weak. If you always eat chips while watching TV, then change the routine. Move the chips out of the house. If you always smoke after coffee, then drink tea instead. If you always scroll in bed, then charge your phone in another room. Remove the trigger and the habit starves. The third step is to make the habit unattractive. Your brain loves rewards. So turn the reward into pain. If you smoke, think of the black lungs. If you eat sugar, imagine the sickness it brings. If you scroll for hours, picture the wasted life. Change the story in your mind. Make the habit ugly. Your brain will resist it. The fourth step is to make the habit hard. Increase the friction. Lock the cookies in a box with a key. Delete the apps that waste your time. Cancel the subscriptions you don't use. Every extra step makes the habit weaker. The fifth step is to replace, not erase. When you break a bad habit, leave no empty space. If you stop smoking, start walking. If you stop junk food, start cooking. If you stop scrolling, start reading. Because emptiness is dangerous. The brain hates a hole. it will pull the old habit back. So fill the hole with a better one. Let me tell you a story. A man wanted to stop drinking alcohol. He tried many times, but every night when he came home, the cue was there: loneliness. He drank to feel warm. One day, he joined a sports club. After work, instead of going home, he went to train. He found friends. He found laughter. The cue of loneliness was gone. The chain of alcohol was broken. Do you see? You cannot simply say, stop. You must change the system, change the cues, change the rewards, change the routine. And remember, breaking chains takes time. Do not expect freedom in one night. Chains are heavy because they are old. They were built link by link, day after day, and they will break in the same way, link by link, day after day. So celebrate small victories. One less cigarette, one less hour of scrolling, one less drink. Each victory is a broken link. And soon, the chain will fall. But here is the truth. Some chains never fully disappear. The memory stays. The temptation whispers. That is why you must stay watchful. Stay humble. Stay ready. Because freedom is not only breaking the chain, it is choosing every day not to build it again. So ask yourself now, what chains are you carrying? What habits hold you back? And what first small step can you take to begin your escape? Because no matter how heavy the chain, no matter how long you have worn it, there is always a key. And the key is choice. Chapter 7. Identity, not willpower. Most people believe change comes from willpower. They say, if I try harder, I will succeed. If I push myself, I will not fail. But willpower is like a battery. It runs out. It fades when you are tired, stressed, or weak. So what is stronger than willpower? Identity. Your habits are not only what you do, they are who you believe you are. If you see yourself as a smoker, quitting feels like war. If you see yourself as a runner, running feels natural. If you see yourself as a reader, books call your name. Identity is the root. Habits are the fruit. Let me tell you a story. A young man wanted to stop smoking. At every party, people offered him a cigarette. At first, he said, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." But inside, his identity was still smoker. And soon, he smoked again. Later, he changed his words. When people offered, he said, "No thanks, I'm not a smoker." Do you hear the difference? Not trying, not fighting, simply a new identity. And because he believed it, his actions followed. The habit died. This is the secret. Your behavior follows your identity. If you fight only with willpower, you are swimming against the river. If you change your identity, the river flows with you. Think of an athlete. He does not say, "I must force myself to train." He says, "I am an athlete. Training is what I do." Think of a writer. She does not say, "I must write today." She says, "I am a writer." Writing is who I am. Identity turns action into habit. So how do we build a new identity? Not with big words, not with empty dreams, with small proof. Every action is a vote for the person you want to be. When you read one page, you vote, "I am a reader." When you run one step, you vote, "I am a runner." When you cook one healthy meal, you vote, "I am a healthy person." Votes add up. Identities grow. And soon, your new self is stronger than your old one. But beware. Bad habits also vote. Every cigarette is a vote for, "I am a smoker." Every hour of scrolling is a vote for, "I am distracted." Every broken promise is a vote for, "I cannot trust myself." Your identity listens. It watches. It grows with every choice. So, you must choose carefully. Who do you want to be? Let me share another story. In a small village, a boy dreamed of being a teacher. He had no books, no money. But every day he taught his younger brother. One word, one number, one story. Day after day, his identity grew. Not from school, not from titles, from action. Years later, he became a real teacher. The dream was fulfilled because the identity came first. You see, identity is not waiting in the future. It is built in the present. With every small choice, with every small vote. So here is the truth. Do not ask, "What do I want to achieve?" Ask instead, "Who do I want to become?" Because goals are temporary. You can run a marathon and stop. You can write a book and never write again. But identity is permanent. If you are a runner, you keep running. If you are a writer, you keep writing. Identity stays when goals are gone. Now, think about your own life. What is the story you are telling yourself? Do you say, "I am lazy. I am weak. I am unlucky"? Or do you say, "I am strong. I am disciplined. I am learning"? Your words shape your belief. Your belief shapes your identity. Your identity shapes your habits. And your habits shape your destiny. So choose your words with care. Choose your votes with care. Choose your actions with care. Because change is not about fighting harder. It is about becoming someone new. And the question is simple. Who do you want to be 5 years from now? Because the answer does not start tomorrow. It starts today. It starts with the story you believe. It starts with your identity. Chapter 8. Small Habits, Big Health. Health is not built in one day. It is not destroyed in one day either. Health is the result of small habits, repeated for years. Think about your body like a bank. Every small action is a deposit or a withdrawal. Drink water, deposit. Walk 10 minutes, deposit. Sleep on time, deposit. Smoke a cigarette, withdrawal. Skip sleep, withdrawal. Eat junk every night, withdrawal. Day by day, the balance grows. One choice looks small, but over years, it decides whether you live with energy or live with pain. Let me tell you a story. A woman in her 40s felt tired every morning. She thought she needed medicine, but her doctor said, "Start with 1 glass of water after you wake." That was all. 1 glass. She laughed. Too simple. But she tried. Day after day, the glass became normal. Her skin improved. Her energy grew. Later, she added 10 minutes of walking. Then, more vegetables at lunch. In 1 year, she felt younger than at 30. Not because of one big change, but because of small daily habits. Health hides in the little things. Sleep is one of them. Go to bed late, and one night feels fine. But repeat it, and your brain suffers. Memory weakens. Focus breaks. The body grows weaker. Now, imagine sleeping well. Night after night, your body repairs. Your mind is sharp. Your heart is strong. This is the quiet power of habit. Food is another. Most people eat with emotion, not with thought. Fast food, sugary snacks. The reward is quick. The cost is slow. But small habits can change this. Eat 1 piece of fruit each day. Add 1 more vegetable to your plate. Drink 1 less soda. These are not diets. They are choices, and they change your future. Movement is the same. You do not need to run a marathon. Start with stretching. Climb stairs instead of elevators. Walk while you talk on the phone. Each step is a vote for health, and steps add up. Stress is also a habit. Some people live in constant worry. Their bodies are always ready for danger. The heart beats fast. The muscles stay tense. Over time, stress becomes sickness, but small habits can protect you. 1 deep breath before work. 5 minutes of silence after lunch. Writing your thoughts in a journal. These actions are medicine without a pill. Let me tell you another story. In a small village, doctors taught people 1 simple habit. Wash hands with soap. It looks small. But sickness fell. Children lived longer. Families grew stronger. A small daily habit saved thousands of lives. This is the truth. Big health is not built in hospitals. It is built in homes, in kitchens, in bedrooms, in sidewalks. It is built by the choices you make every day. But here is the danger. Bad habits also grow in silence. Smoking starts with one cigarette. Obesity starts with one snack. Heart problems start with one late night. Each choice is a drop of poison. At first, invisible, but in time, powerful. So, the question is simple. What health deposits are you making today? Are you filling your body's bank? Or are you emptying it? Remember, your body is the home of your future. If you care for it with small habits, it will carry you far. If you neglect it, the journey will be short. Do not wait for illness to wake you. Do not wait for doctors to warn you. Start now. Drink the water. Walk the steps. Sleep the hours. Breathe the breaths. Because health is not luck. It is design. It is choice. It is the reward of small habits, lived every day. And when you build these habits, you do not just add years to your life. You add life to your years. Chapter 9. The Ripple Effect. One habit looks small, almost invisible, but no habit lives alone. Each one creates ripples, waves that move through your life and into the lives of others. Think about a stone dropped in water. The circles spread wider and wider. This is how habits work. They begin inside you, but they never end there. Let me tell you a story. A father decided to walk every evening after dinner. At first, he walked alone, but soon his daughter joined him. Then his wife, then his neighbor. In 1 year, 5 people were walking every night. The father's habit became the family's health. One small step sent ripples across many lives. Or think about kindness. You smile at a stranger. They feel lighter. They pass that smile to the next person. By the end of the day, hundreds may feel the warmth. A smile is just a habit of the face, but its ripple is huge. Good habits inspire. They are visible. When you see a colleague working hard, you feel the push to do the same. When you see a friend eating healthy, you think twice about your choices. When you see someone reading daily, you wonder, maybe I can too. Your actions teach louder than your words. But beware, bad habits also ripple. If one person complains all the time, the room becomes heavy. If one friend always drinks too much, soon the group may follow. If parents live with stress, children learn it too. Habits spread like fire. They burn both ways, warming or destroying. This is why your small choices matter more than you think. They are not only for you. They are for everyone around you. Let me share another story. In a company office, one worker began arriving 5 minutes early. He made coffee. He prepared the room. His habit created a calm start for the team. Others noticed. They began arriving early, too. Soon, meetings started on time. Stress decreased. Productivity grew. One small habit changed the culture of an entire workplace. This is the ripple effect. Think of history. One scientist forms the habit of daily note-taking. Centuries later, humanity has books of discovery. One musician practices 1 hour each morning. Generations later, the world hears symphonies. Greatness begins with private habits, but ends with public ripples. Now pause and think about your own ripples. When your children watch you, what habits do they see? When your friends spend time with you, what energy do they feel? When your colleagues work beside you, what example do you give? Because your habits are never just your own. They are seeds. They grow in the soil of others. Here is the truth. Changing one habit may feel small, but you are not only shaping your future. You are shaping the future of everyone touched by your life. A teacher who builds the habit of patience creates confident students. A nurse who builds the habit of care brings healing beyond medicine. A leader who builds the habit of honesty inspires generations. All ripples, all from habits. And now, the final question. What kind of ripples will you send into the world? Because the story is clear. Small habits create big change, not only inside you, but far beyond you. They change families. They change teams. They change communities. They change history. So drop your stone. Let the circles spread. 1 glass of water. 1 page of reading. 1 step of kindness. Each one matters. Each one travels. Each one leaves a mark. The world is waiting for your ripples.